Cinderace, the Striker Pokemon. This is a Fire Monotype Pokemon. So one typing, Fire, and he's got a pretty decent stat spread. Now, his HP is 80, Special Attack 65, Defense 75, Special Defense 75. None of these are like crazy high or crazy low. They're kind of middle or lower middle of the spectrum, with the exception of the Special Attack, which is a little lower. But the attack is 116, which is pretty good. And the speed is actually 119, which is really good. There's not going to be too much that actually outspeeds this guy. However, you do want to watch for his adversary, the Inteleon, because he does have one base speed point higher, and that's obviously going to be a type mismatch for the Cinderace. So just keep that in mind, that the Inteleon is going to be faster, assuming they have the right EVs in their Inteleon to kill you. Now, so he is our glass cannon. He is going to be hitting really hard, and he has some really cool moves as well that we're going to get into, including his signature move, the Pyro Ball. So let's go ahead and talk about Cinderace's abilities. He has two. The first one is going to be Blaze, which is a pretty standard fire type move, and the other one is Libero, which is going to be his hidden ability. Now, Libero is not currently in the game. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but at the time of this video, it is not available for anybody to get. However, Blaze is a move or an ability that everybody should be kind of familiar with, and it's going to boost your fire type moves when you use them when your HP is under 1/3 of its maximum. So once you hit that threshold, you're going to be boosting your attack for your fire moves by 50%, which is a pretty big deal. So that's not bad at all. You just have to make sure you're within that threshold and not dead. So that's the real kicker there. But as far as Libero, now when this comes out, it's going to be amazing. This is very similar to Greninja's move with the Protean. This is going to be just absolutely awesome. Basically, when Cinderace attacks, and he has Libero as his hidden ability, whatever move he uses, it's essentially going to change his typing to that move's typing for that attack. So if you're using U-turn, it's going to change him to a bug typing for that attack, so he gets the stab bonus off of the U-turn and does that extra damage. And that's going to go for every move in the game that he can learn, that he can use, with the exception of Struggle. So if you get to the point where you got to use Struggle, you're kind of, up the creek for that. So good luck. But other than that, it's going to work for any other move, and this is going to make him very, very deadly. And it's going to be kind of a game changer, I think, especially when we talk about his Gmax being added in. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Cinderace's weaknesses. So he is a mono fire, which means he's not going to have a crazy amount of weaknesses, but he does have some significant ones because they are fairly meta in the game right now. You are going to see them fairly frequently, and that's going to be your ground types, your rock types, and your water types. So obviously you've got Pokemon that are running amok out there like Rhyperior. Those are going to be a huge threat. You get to see your Excadrills here and there. Laprases, of course, are always going to be a thing. Rain teams, sand teams, you've got everything out there. So just be very careful when you actually use him, because if you're going against a team that's got all rock mons, he's going to get rocked. He's going to get rocked. So just be careful by that. Other than that, though, he's got some great resistances. So that's something we definitely need to talk about. So let's look at that next. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and talk about this guy's resistances. And he does have 6 different typings, so this is going to be great. He's going to be resistant to Bug, Steel, Fire, Grass, Ice, and Fairy. So these are all going to be half resistances, 50% resistances. And some of these typings you're seeing pretty frequently, both in moves and Pokemon. So Steel and Fire, big ones right now. Ice is not something that you'd never see. It's around. And Fairy is very, very big as well. So it's really nice to have that resistance set. Alright guys, if this video is helping you at all or you're enjoying it, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe, or feel free to come into the Twitch. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we do Pokemon, and we do battles and trades and everything else in delight with viewers, so feel free to come in, have a chat, and meet some great community members. Other than that, let's go ahead and talk about this Gmax. Alright guys, so Gmax Cinderace sitting on that gigantic Pyro Ball, so cool looking. It's actually one of my favorite of the new starters Gmax forms. I really think it's cool, and he gets the Gmax Fireball. This is going to ignore all the effects of the target's ability, which is really cool. So something that's going to be able to absorb fire attacks, for example, he's going to be able to plow through that, do damage, and not have the absorption, just as an example. So this is really cool, especially when you put it in conjunction with his hidden ability Libero. Man, he's going to be so good. He's going to be just a new meta for the game. He really is going to be awesome. Okay, so getting into the meat and bones, let's go ahead and look at a few different setups that we can do for the Cinderace. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do. This doesn't have to be an all-inclusive. These are the only things you can do. There's a lot of different things, but we're going to go over what I think is a pretty standard set, a set that I've been using, and kind of a funky set that I think anybody could really kind of play with and just have some fun with. Alright guys, so this set here, this is going to be the pretty standard set. It's going to be pretty much glass cannon, get in, do damage, kill some things, and get out. So the attack is going to be 252, and the speed is going to be 252 with your EVs. The remaining EVs, throw it into whatever you want. I put mine into defense, but that last chunk isn't really going to matter too much. As far as items, you have a choice that you can pick from. You can do Life Orb, Choice Band, or Focus Sash. Focus Sash is going to give you that little bit of survivability, so you can get some extra hits in, just in case they are targeting down the Cinderace. But obviously, you're going to start hitting really hard with Choice Band and Life Orb. Choice Band going to lock you into that one move, so you're not going to be able to really have wiggle room, but Life Orb going to give you a little bit of chip damage every turn that you use it. But both of those are going to increase your damage significantly. As far as ability, right now all we have is Blaze, but we should be getting Libero soon, probably at the time of the first DLC drop this year. What we're going to want to do for his nature is use Jolly, so we're going to be boosting his speed and not doing anything with his attack, not lowering his attack by any means, but boosting his speed. We want to keep him at that high speed threshold, so he's going to outspeed as many things as he can. Now for moves, this is where it gets a little funky. There's actually quite a bit of things you can do here. I've been rotating in and out movesets all day for the last week, and I've kind of come up with this, but I'm also kind of wanting to use Iron Head. But for right now, I've got Gunk Shot, High Jump Kick, U-Turn, and Pyro Ball. Now I do like having that Iron Head in there, especially if I'm Dynamaxing / Gmaxing, because it is going to be, you know, super effective against some things that I would like to hit with that. But if you have a fire or a fighting type move on there as well, you can hit things like Tyranitar and other things and get your +1 attack. So these are all things you want to consider. Consider what you're going to get from bonuses in Dynamax. Consider what types of Pokemon you're seeing out and about in the meta right now for competitive. But there's a lot of things he can do. But that Gunk Shot, man, it does so much damage. That is definitely one you want to consider. And you have to have Pyro Ball. You have to have Pyro Ball. It is the better Flare Blitz. Get your Pyro Ball, do the damage, and don't get your recoil. So that is definitely what you want to do there. Okay guys, so this next set is going to be a little bit more of a trick set. So we're going to be doing the same EVs, both the 252 into attack and 252 into speed, but now we're going to be specifically looking at Focus Sash or Life Orb. The reason that Focus Sash and Life Orb are specific is because we've added Endure, Counter, and Court Change in the mix. So if you're rocking a Focus Sash, then you can cut Endure out, and you can keep Counter and have Court Change. Now, Court Change, if you're not familiar with it, is going to reverse certain effects that are on the field. Unfortunately, Trick Room is not one of the effects. However, any kind of barrier, Reflect, Light Screen, Aurora Veil, Tailwinds, there's a bunch of different things that if they go in, you can actually reverse it and get those benefits. So if a Gmax Lapras comes out and sets up a Veil, you can then Court Change, and now you've got that 30% damage reduction. Now the reason that we're looking at the Focus Sash or Endure is basically Counter has a -5 priority, so you're pretty much going to move last, with the exception of a few other moves that have a lower priority. But if something like an Inteleon comes out, or a Dracopult, which is going to outspeed you, you can sit here and you can know, okay, I've got my Focus Sash on. I'm going to go ahead and use Counter. I'm going to go last anyways. They're going to bring me down to my Focus Sash at 1 HP. As soon as they hit me, I am then going to counter for a ridiculous amount of damage. But basically, if you don't know what Counter does, it's going to counter any physical moves for twice the damage done to the user. So if you get hit down to 1 HP and you are at max health, you are going to counter that for an insane amount of damage. So very, very cool. And this is pre-Libero giving you your boost in your stab bonuses. So this is pretty cool. This is going to be really cool. Now, you still have some room in here. You can do whatever you want. You could add Revenge if you want. Obviously, Reversal's a possibility with this set. So there's still a lot of things you can do, but you do have your U-turn and you do have your Pyro Ball, so you're going to still get your little bit of chip damage and way out with U-turn and your heavy hit with Pyro Ball. So you still have a decent coverage here, and you're going to be hitting like a truck. Okay guys, so a final set we'll look at today, same EV spread, the 252 attack and speed. However, we're going to be looking at Salic Berry and a weakness policy. So these are the two items we're going to look at here, and this is more of a fun set. This isn't something I'm going to necessarily recommend all the time. Weakness policy, because you have to survive, and so who knows if that's going to happen depending on if you go against the wrong team with this kind of glass cannon-y guy. And on this set though, we are going to use a Blaze again. However, we're going to switch from Jolly to Adamant. Now this is mostly if you're using the Salic Berry. If you're using the Salic Berry and you get hit and you get brought pretty low, this is going to boost your speed. So you're going to not really need your Jolly because you're going to get more speed from that speed boost. As far as the moveset, we're going straight damage on this puppy. Similar to the first moveset we had, we're going to be doing the gunk shot, the high jump kick, the U-turn, and the Pyro Ball. Again, there is a lot of different coverage moves that you can go into, that you can put on here. It doesn't have to be the same ones here. Definitely want to keep that Pyro Ball because that's going to give you your big stab bonus, and you can never go wrong with high jump kick. So this is going to be this set right here, guys. And this Pokemon is really cool. He really is cool, and I want to see him used more and more. And as we get Libero, I think that that is going to be a thing once his Gmax comes out and he's got his hidden ability, and I think we're going to start seeing a lot of him in competitive, guys. So that is it for our striker Pokemon, the Cinderace. Now, if you guys want to get a head start on building your Cinderaces, testing him out, please guys, drop into the Twitch channel. I love to have battles. We do it every day. And I'd love to see what you got. And if you want to put something down in the comments, maybe a special set that you like using for your Cinderace or your items or your EV spread, please do. I love to see it. I try to comment back on every comment, and I'd love to see it. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope to see everybody again. And until then, take care.